Welcome one all, my name is Tawess and today we are painting. I know, it's a shock, we've never done that before. Also, terribly sorry for having a bit of a hiatus, but things has been going on and I had to take care of stuff. Stuff and things and things and stuff. And well, today we are doing something different. I say that a lot, don't I? But today we are actually doing something different, because if you've been with me for any time length, and you know that I usually say I hate painting camo, because I hate painting camo. But you see, I got a hold of something that makes this a lot easier. And I know some people are going to be like, oh, good for you. Is it masking fluid? Yes, it's masking fluid. Basically, a quick dry latex that you brush onto model and it masks off areas. So you can use that to paint a nice camo on this here Marauder. At first I was thinking about painting this Marauder like Divas mech from Overwatch, but it's like, this is a lot more fun. Now, this is my, how should I put this? My dabble attempt. I was unsure how thick of a layer I was supposed to put on or how many layers, and I figured that out as I went. And this first layer is very thin. It still does the job, but it's gonna be hell to remove. Trust me on that one. So yeah, basically this is how you do it. You paint it onto the areas you want to maintain the color you already have. You have to think in reverse for this. It takes a bit of work if you're not used to it. Basically, whatever I paint over now will be maintained in the same color once I paint the next color onto it. So layer 1 is usually not a problem, because you just apply it as you feel would look good. But as we're going to see as we move on, layers 2 and 3, because we're going to do 3 layers, they are a bit more tricky, because you have to remember to cover everything you want covered. Also, it is a nightmare to get rid of some of this. I'm pretty sure I still have some areas on the mech that have masking fluid on them that I haven't got off yet. There's no such thing as using too much masking fluid. But anyway, just let it dry and settle. It changes color from a very bright to a more dark green in this case. There are different colors. And we just take the airbrush and apply a second layer. Now, the reason I'm using airbrush here is because it's quicker. You can use paint, you rattle can, it doesn't matter. Paintbrush, rattle can, doesn't matter. You can use anything. This thing does not come off easy. It takes a considerable amount of power to do it. So don't be afraid to use a brush onto this. It is okay. It works perfectly fine. But yeah, if you would like this, it is still a lot of work. But if you, like me, feel insecure about painting camo patterns by hand, this is the superior method to doing it. And these bottles aren't expensive. Sure, there is a limited shelf life once you have cracked it. You have to actually use it, not overly quickly, but you still have to use it because, well, it is a self-drying latex solution after all, and it will dry in the pot too. And yeah, but as you can see, once you have painted over, you just either use a sharp tool, a brush, or your fingers, depending on how thick of a layer you put on, and you just pull it off. And this is satisfying. As you can see here, you just rip it off and you get a nice clean area beneath the old paint. So yeah, it is this is the stage that takes the most time, because peeling all these small patches of things away, and I did scrape it a bit when I did this. This tool is still very sharp. I sped up the process a bit because I don't think I want to sit down and watch 20-ish minutes of me peeling rubber away. This of course works both on regular models, on tanks, on humans, on anything and everything. I mean, it is what it is after all. I'm using a brand called Green Stuff World. They do a lot of things in regards to modeling and miniature craft, but any kind of latex solution works in this case. So yeah, just making sure you get all these little bits off, and yeah, it's not more difficult than that. And of course, here's a rel can or a airbrush comes in handy because it applies the paint in thinner layers and more evenly, but you don't need it technically. So we're now getting ready to paint the next layer, and now, as I say, now I have to think. It's not like, okay, so I need to cover all the tan bits, and I need to cover everything that should be green once we're done. You might do the mistake here of actually just painting over the tan bits and thinking like, oh well, it's covered now, and forgetting actually it's covered some of the green stuff too. As I say, it is tricky. Not impossible, but slightly tricky. Of course, you might have to go over 2 or 3 times over some of these to get a good solid coverage, but it is what it is. And well, we can then go back to, oh yeah, you can rinse the brush in water. It's water soluble, which is good. So you can actually rinse the brush. Keep a separate mug, but you can rinse it in there. And just in this case, use the airbrush again. But again, you can use whatever brush you want. But as I say, I would recommend using an airbrush or rattle cam for this. And it's quicker if nothing else. So yeah. And of course, there is no upper or lower level to how much detail you want to put into this. If you want to do thin tiger stripes, you can do thin tiger stripes over the entire mech. No problem. Or if you want to be like blot in big areas, again, no problem. Just remember, put down a base color and then you apply the masking liquid. Again, we had to go over and make sure we got all the little areas unstripped. But as you can see, now you start to see now the whole thing come alive. And it's kind of nice actually. I like it. Now, as I said, I'm terribly sorry I've been away. It's been almost a month, I think, and things happens. Hopefully we will get some more stability back now, but I'm not entirely sure. Basically, I had to take a course in order to... I had a grade missing for I need for university course. So I actually had to take this course and get that grade, and now I have that. Hopefully done by Monday. Hopefully we'll be done. So once that is done, I'll hopefully go back to more normality. And then we have not much coming. The Kickstarter is coming up. I'm going to have to do a video about that, of course. But beyond that, not much. I have picked up some Marvel United games on the sheep. I'm going to paint some of those models because they're fun. And then it's back to painting mechs again. You have the Alpha Strike box to paint. Still unsure what we're going to paint them as. The clan mechs are going to be painted as Clan Ghost Bear, of course, but beyond that, I'm not entirely sure. because now I have these masking fluid. I can actually do it a bit differently. So that could be fun. But yeah, that's one of these things, isn't it? Now, of course, and I know this is a thing, and so if you have some ideas about what you want me to paint, leave a suggestion down below. And well, apart from that, I don't think there's much else to do. As you can see, things are now actually starting to come together. We have a working camo pattern. We're now just adding a bit of shading from below with some inks, making sure that we actually get some tonality into it. With that done, just apply my regular silver, because you know me, the weapons always go into silver. And yeah, I was arguing with myself I was going to do a wash over this, but I decided not to, because the focus here was not nice washing. We can do this some other time. The focus here was the masking camo pattern. So yeah, that was basically what I focused on. I decided to leave the inking for some other day, because it would require me to touch up all the green browns, and it would sort of remove the whole point of having used the masking fluid. So we dropped that. Yeah. Then some nice contrast paint for the cockpit, and I'm gonna add some. I think it's a mix of orange and yellow, just to get a nice tone to it. And yeah, there's not much more to say about that. I hope you found this interesting, and I hope you find a nice use for masking fluids, masking liquids in your own hobby work. But as always, a tool is always just a tool. Use it if you want to. If you don't want to use it, you don't have to. Now, I'm gonna add some blue speed paint in this case, to the PPCs, and then we're done. Turning it over to the beauty shots. So, until next time, stay safe, be kind, and do play fair. Bye.